Can you guys hear me? Let me know. All right. Can you guys hear me? All right. Hold on. Let's see here. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Okay. Now you can hear me. Well, I'm going to have to figure that out. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out because I'm not sure why the mic's not working. So I'll figure that out. I'm testing out some new stuff. So right now you're listening through my computer. For some reason, I got a new mic, and for some reason, it's not going through my computer. So I'll figure that out. I was trying to test it out. So I apologize. I thought you guys could hear me. What I was saying was, the normal spiel. If you're on Facebook, please make sure and go over, go out of the live that you're in, scroll to the top of the page, click the link, join us over here on YouTube. As you guys always know, we start out by identifying the criminal with the crime. So let me know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we have insurance fraud, kidnapping, money laundering, burglary, and theft. Woody probably got scared once the volume came on. Yeah, like I have the mic set up and stuff, so I don't know. I have to do a little bit more tweaking. I didn't have much time to tweak it, but yeah, I'll just have to do a little bit of practice session to see, because I can hear myself through everything in my audio, but it's not letting you guys hear me. So I don't know what's up, but we don't have time for all that right now. So let me know. It was Facebook that notified you. Good. So let me know what you guys think. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thank you, Lakita. Yeah, the computer mic's not bad. Let's see. Let me know. All right. 1, theft or burglary. 4 is what? I hope you got some sleep. You need some rest on whatever mission you're on. No malarkey. We're on true crime right now. Looks like a kidnapper. All right. Dude in the middle is the kidnapper. All right. Here we go. Kidnapper. They said 1 is theft. What else we got? I feel like this girl is either money laundering or insurance fraud, probably. Maybe the number 5, insurance. 2 is insurance fraud. Okay. That's what I was thinking. So 2, insurance fraud. Now, who do we think was the money launderer, and who do we think was the burglary suspect? 4 and 5. Who's got burglary? You think the kidnapper is definitely number 2? She does look a little, Oh, you think money laundering? That's what I was thinking. Teresa, I was thinking either insurance fraud or money laundering. All right, so let's do burglary. Let's just do it like this. See what we get. 1 out of 5. All right, what do we get? All right, so be kind, be a nice human, burglary. Number 2, theft. We got the kidnapping right. Number 4 is insurance fraud, and number 5 was money laundering. So there's how it rolled out, you guys. All right, let's see. Okay, we did this one. Let me go jump to the next ones. And if this is on the Smoking Gun website, you just go to Time Waster and you'll be able to see it. All right, let's go page 4. There's like so many pages on here of them. So many. All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we've done this one yet. Ooh, this is a good one. What is that second thing? What is that? What is that second picture, you guys? A jack? A car jack or what? What is that? I have no idea what that is, number 2. I have no idea. Let me know what number 2 is, you guys. Let me know. All right, let me turn this off. That off. Let me turn. Well, actually, let me not do that. Okay, how about that? All right, let me not do that. Okay. I know we do suck, right? Yo, it's a jack. Okay, that's the only thing I can think. I was like, what is that? What is that? Okay, how about that? All right. I'm just checking my sound for a minute. All right. So we've got honey, a jack, Nutella, Mountain Dew, and a skateboard. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they all seem to be dressed in orange already. A fishing rod? I don't know. Something maybe it's a jack. That's what I was thinking. It's strange the way it looks. I'm like, what is that? All right, so what do we think? Who you mace traps? What do we think? Who used what, you guys? Who used what? Let me know what you're thinking. Who used the Nutella? Who used the honey? Give me some answers. Throw them out. Throw them out. Hey, hey. Hey, Tai Tai. Let me know what y'all are thinking. Yeah, Christina, it sounds good on my end, on my phone. Who used what? Yeah, I just listen. It's all right. I get it. Like I said, I got some new stuff, so I'll be messing around. 1 is the jack. All right, we got you. Number 1 is the jack. All right, we got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skateboard, Mountain Dew, Nutella, and honey. Mountain Dew for number 3. 5 is honey. Oh, where did honey go? Look, where did honey go? All right, number 5 is honey. It's a greaser. Okay, Tina. All right. We have nuts. So we got 2 and 4 left. We got Nutella and skateboard left for 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Let's do Nutella here. Oh, Nutella here. Skateboard there. Let's try it. 0. Oh, we're bad. All right. Number 1 is Nutella. Somebody did get the jack right. Number 1 is Nutella. Number 2 is the jack. There was a few of you guys that said that number 2 was the jack. So you guys got that one right. I just didn't put it in the right place. We got Nutella and the jack flipped. We got them flipped, y'all. We should have flipped the Nutella and the jack. So, all right, so we got Nutella for number 1, jack number 2, 3 is honey. Look at her eyes, honey. She's like, I sure did use that, honey. Number 4 is Mountain. We should have known number 4 was Mountain Dew, honey. We should have known. I should have known that number 4 was Mountain Dew. And number 5 is skateboard. All right. If you're on Facebook, please come over and join us. I am going to have to say goodbye to Facebook. You can come over and enter. We need more practice, right? Yeah, Jamie, once I actually looked at it, I was like, damn, I should have known number 4 was Mountain Dew. That was my fault. That was my fault. All right. Bye, Facebook. All right. As you guys know, it is true crime night. I always like to say any true crime case, in my opinion, is going to be triggering, especially when it deals with children. It's even more triggering. But we are going to dive into our case now. I'm not sure if we'll get to the second part. I've got 2 videos, so I'm not sure if we'll get to the second part or not, because I feel like the first story, there's going to be a lot of, I feel like there's going to be a lot of discussion for this first one. So if we get into it, if we get to the second video, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. Because I feel like you guys are going to have a lot to say about this first case. All right. I'm just going to test the audio once I get it on, just to make sure we're good to go, because I don't want to play half the video and the audio not be good. Hey, everybody. Don't mess with the hillbilly and their Mountain Dew, right? After I really took a look, I was like, damn, I should have got that one. All jacked up on Mountain Dew. All jacked up on Mountain Dew. So tonight, our case is the missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow. Not sure how, I don't want to butcher the last name, but a 7-month-old Emmanuel Harrow missing Foul play cannot be ruled out. Please, no spoilers. No spoilers in the chat. I know a lot of people probably have seen this case or know details about this case, but some people have not. So please do not spoil it.
Yucaipa, the boy's mother claiming he was taken from a Yucaipa parking lot.
Yeah, Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan just spoke to the family, and he is live in Yucaipa.
One of 5 County Sheriff's Department.
7-month-old boy reported missing in Yucaipa.
Hold up, y'all. Let me check this video real quick. Hold on. What the heck? Hang on one second, guys. Let me see what's going on because it has no sound. Ain't this a bitch? Ain't nothing like a technical difficulty night. Oh, shit. All right, let me see here. Check the sound out.
Desperate to find out what happened.
Okay, well, there's sound on this. I wonder why it didn't upload with sound. Hold on. Can y'all hear it? Hey, hey. Let me see here. Oh, okay. It's just hear it. All right, cool. I'm like, damn. All right. Don't hear it. My bad, y'all. Now, let me just share. I was going to say, there's no way.
Kidnapped last night in Yucaipa.
I was
Now,
going to
his
say,
mom
there's no
told me
way
that they were here last night.
All right, here we go.
7-month-old boy reported missing in Yucaipa. The boy's mother claiming he was taken from a Yucaipa parking lot.
Yeah, Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan just spoke to the family, and he is live in Yucaipa with the latest. Rob.
That's not a spoiler, right?
Well, not only is
Yeah,
this
you can hear
family
it.
desperate to find out what happened
It's
out
just a
here,
lag.
but
He's
so are
kept up
detectives with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department who have returned to the scene where a 7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big 5 parking
why
lot.
is
Let's
it
bring
not
up his
working
picture right now. This is
Y'all can hear it now. You
7-month-old
can't hear it.
Emmanuel
What the
Haro,
hell?
one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa.
Right.
Now, his mom told
Let's just do it.
7-month-old boy reported missing in Yucaipa. The boy's mother claiming he was taken from a Yucaipa parking lot.
Yeah, Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan just spoke to the family, and he is live in Yucaipa with the latest. Rob.
Well, not only is this family desperate to find out what happened out here, but so are detectives with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department who have returned to the scene where a 7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big 5 parking lot. Let's bring up his picture right now. This is 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa. Now, his mom told me that they were here last night at a nearby football stadium in Yucaipa with the other kids playing youth football, and she had to run down here to Big 5 to buy some equipment for her stepson, specifically a mouth guard. When she got here to the parking lot, she says that's when she noticed her 7-month-old's diaper needed to be changed. So she says she got out of her truck, went around to the back, and laid him down on the seat to change his diaper when she was attacked from behind. Now, we did speak with her a short time ago about what she says happened here in this parking lot last night, right around sunset.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck and I ran into Big 5 and I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy. He smiled. Mackenzie loved to kiss him.
He was a healthy baby. He was crawling, he was kicking, he was playing with his toys. Whoever took our son, please give him back.
Members of this community also desperate to find out where this boy is. I talked with a couple of them who said that there were scores of investigators out here last night. We just saw them return to the scene right now. They've had search dogs out here trying to pick up a scent. They're trying to gather video. We don't see a lot of surveillance cameras in this area, but they are trying to gather video. Again, the search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is. Live in Yucaipa, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, you certainly answered our question. We were wondering about that same thing, the video that can be so critical in piecing this together. Rob, thank you.
I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white and a hearing sound. I fell on the floor.
Look at this. So this is all the stuff that they've looked into. Knocking her unconscious, what she basically said. But they said there's been inconsistency in the story. What I can...
It's just a baby. Just give our son back, please.
New revelations have come to light about the father, including past jail time for child cruelty. Jake Harrow's on probation for those charges after he was convicted and jailed in 23 and also facing additional charges of weapons possession. He's on probation for child cruelty. They've searched the couple's home with cadaver dogs and removed an almost 2-year-old child. And the grandmother, oh honey, she told that she believes they're innocent. I got more on the grandmother.
Right now, there are several new developments in the search for this missing baby boy. Now, his mother first told deputies that she was attacked and that her baby was kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa. But now, investigators say she's not been able to keep her story straight. NBC4's Lauren Coronado was live in our newsroom with how deputies are responding this morning.
Lynette, a spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, tells us the couple's 2-year-old was taken by Riverside Child Protective Services over the weekend. And just last night, detectives were at the family's home in Cabazon. This was just after 7 o'clock last night. Witnesses say they saw detectives talking with the missing baby's father right outside the home. Also last night, as the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, community members came together for a vigil demanding answers. This was at Big 5 Sporting Goods in Yucaipa, where Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, says she was attacked in the parking lot Thursday, knocked unconscious, and woke up to find baby Emmanuel missing. Our team spoke with Rebecca Friday.
I don't remember nothing. I got up off the floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me.
Rebecca has not spoken publicly since, and apparently she's not saying much to detectives either. A spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says last week detectives confronted Rebecca with inconsistencies to her initial statement, and she declined to continue with an interview. Now a national children's advocacy and violence prevention group says it's calling off its search for the baby and pulling its reward offer. This after Rebecca's story began changing and after Emmanuel's 2-year-old sister was removed again from the Haro home by CPS. Of course, if you have any information about where the baby is or if you saw something at Big 5 in Yucaipa last Thursday.
The grandmother, of course, she's going to say she's innocent, which, again, that's my opinion. I'll elaborate on that in a minute.
Now, for the very first time, we are hearing from the attorney representing the father of a baby who vanished from Yucaipa.
Authorities say the child's parents have stopped cooperating with investigators, and Mario Ramirez is live with the latest developments there. Mario.
This morning, I spoke exclusively with the attorney for Emmanuel's father, who tells a different story, saying the couple's been working with investigators, turning over phones, laptops, and passwords, all connected to the desperate search of their baby, who's been missing for nearly a week now.
seem law enforcement is doing anything to find this child.
That message from the attorney representing Emmanuel's
they
father.
definitely know
He's holed up in his house with his family because they are not getting the support that they need.
No.
They have people trampling on their property. They have death threats being made.
The 7-month-old was reported missing by his mother, allegedly kidnapped on Thursday of last week in a Big Five parking lot in Yucaipa.
Someone
I guess
said
not,
hola to me, and that's all I remember. I woke up on this floor, panicking for my son because I couldn't find him. I looked around the truck. If you see anything or hear anything, please come forward. I'm begging you, please. Bring my son back to me.
Detectives now say Rebecca's initial story has inconsistencies, and when confronted, say she ended her interview, adding that Emmanuel's parents have stopped cooperating with the investigation. The father's attorney tells me that couldn't be farther from the truth.
I can tell you that Jake and his wife have not slept. They have not ate. They are doing everything in their power to try to find their son. The major concern at this point is how do you find your son when law enforcement has your vehicle? Law enforcement has every way that you can contact the outside world. How do they participate in the search? They're limited financial means, and it's very clear that their own community is going against them without any definitive evidence that they did anything wrong.
Court records show Jake pled guilty to child cruelty charges in a separate 2018 case out of Riverside County. He's currently on probation for those charges after he was convicted and jailed in 2023.
He is currently on probation for that case. He did not serve 4 years in state prison as being reported. He reached that deal through a plea agreement, so he did plead guilty. He acknowledged his role in that situation, and there was more than one person convicted. None of that has been relayed through the media whatsoever.
Hughes tells me the family received a tip over the weekend, a possible sighting of baby Emmanuel out of Bakersfield, and claims that law enforcement hasn't followed up on it. Well, I checked this morning with sheriff's officials here in San Bernardino who say detectives have been made aware of that tip but won't comment any further, saying the investigation is ongoing. Live in San Bernardino this morning, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, we'll stay on top of that for sure. Thank you so much.
Search for a missing infant in the Inland Empire intensifies as the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department says his parents are no longer cooperating with the investigation. This after investigators found inconsistencies in the mother's story. Fox 11's Nick Garcia is live in Yucaipa with the latest. Nick.
Right, Micah.
Well, Christine, this just in from the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office. They say detectives have served several search warrants at the family's home. They've also gained or obtained a lot of surveillance footage from what they call areas of interest, but did not share with us what, if anything, they found during those searches. But this is the parking lot of this Big Five where the 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro's mom says he was kidnapped. Detectives now poking holes in that story. Meanwhile, the infant still missing. Another candle placed outside the Big Five in Yucaipa. The community clinging to hope baby Emmanuel Haro will be found safely.
I'm hungry.
Sunday night, a candlelight vigil as prayers for the missing infant pour in from across the area. At the same time, police activity happening around the family's house in Cabazon in neighboring Riverside County.
Everybody, the whole community is just feeling this eerie vibe. We're deep in sand.
People who live nearby, driving by the house Monday. Nobody came to the door for Riverside County Sheriff's deputies who were sent at the request of Child Protective Services. This after the San Bernardino County Sheriff's
You don't speak in past tense. That is a huge red flag. Anybody who watches true crime or anything like that, you know that when someone's guilty of something, your brain, we're hardwired. And when things become what some will say like muscle memory, but when you're speaking, it's also almost like muscle memory because your brain will automatically, if you already know that person's no longer here, it just will come out that you're speaking about them in past tense. And the fact that you're speaking about them in past tense is alarming because if you thought your baby was missing and someone, because most people that take a baby, they're not taking a baby to just get rid of it. They're taking the baby to raise it as their own or to traffic, whatever the case may be. So you would assume that if someone kidnapped a baby, they would be holding it somewhere, right? I mean, there are those evil ones that will just do it to, unalive. But for the most part, you would think they're holding the baby somewhere. But these parents are immediately speaking past tense. The dad's on probation for child cruelty, and he pled to child cruelty. So what was the charge prior to him pleading down? Because clearly, if he took a plea deal, in my opinion, now law is not my forte, but in my opinion, if he took a plea deal, then that was a lesser charge than what he was originally charged for. And the bruise that she got on her eye, she says that they hit her and it knocked her out. But if you look at that bruise, some true crime people are breaking it down and they're looking at it, medical professionals and stuff. And if you look at that bruise, it looks strange, almost like she was hit with one knuckle, or I don't know. To me, it looked very strange for somebody to have been hit. It just doesn't seem consistent with that, which I'm sure the cops, they know, exactly hungry. Cops know. I think cops know not necessarily exactly what happened, because I don't think they found the body yet, but I think they know they're building that case for the parents, in my opinion. The bruise it doesn't look like it came from, it looks like she hit herself in the face with something, or somebody hit her with like an object. To me, it looks self-inflicted. I don't know. But I'm sure we're going to hear lots more about this.
The department says detectives found inconsistencies in the mother's story on Friday.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it does look like a black eye, but it looks like this little, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but this little like circle, I don't know. It just seemed old, like somebody said old. It doesn't look fresh. It's already like purple and kind of fading, Right, Lita. A phone could do that falling on your face, right? Looks like he hit her on a regular. Right, Sherry. It looks like it's more like a healing bruise versus a fresh bruise.
She spoke with Fox 11.
I'm begging you, please.
Right.
Bring my son back to me.
She says she was knocked unconscious by a stranger as she was changing Emmanuel's diaper in this parking lot. And when she woke up, her 7-month-old was gone without a trace.
My thing is also, I think if Big Five did have cameras, I feel like that shit would have been released already. However, they could be holding that footage to try to get a confession. Maybe they're holding it because they want to try to find the baby. I'm not sure. But if that store of all stores did not have if that store does not have cameras on their parking lot, I would say that they knew they didn't have cameras, because we are in a world today where everywhere has cameras. We have cameras on street lights. We have cameras on stops, red lights. We have cameras. Every store has cameras. Almost every house has cameras, even if it's just a Ring camera, like a doorbell camera. We have cameras everywhere. So if there is no footage of her outside that Big Five, or they don't have cameras, I would say that they knew there wasn't cameras. Because I thought about that. I'm like, if she's going to tell this story and she's saying she's outside of a big department store, or whatever kind of store it is, outside of a big, a mall, or like, stores and stuff in a public place, clearly I feel like she knew there was no cameras, or there wasn't going to be cameras. And I think that'll say a lot. Definitely. They had to know, right? That's what I'm saying. I think Big Five employees came forward and said that they came in the day before looking around for cameras. Yeah, cameras in our cars. Right, Casper. I'm just saying, I'm wondering. They checked into the, oh yeah, they definitely have checked into it. Oh, you mean they have? Yeah. And I'm wondering maybe if they had a friend that was an employee there, and you know how people talk, and friends are saying like, oh, they don't even have cameras there, that kind of thing. So.
Race.
It's something that just doesn't happen here. Yucaipa, Beaumont, Cabazon, even San Bernardino, as big as the crime rate is there, you don't mess with children.
Fox 11 has also learned the baby's father, Jake Haro, has previously been convicted of child cruelty.
Wow, I did not know that. So this comment says, Connie, they allegedly have video of her going into the store asking if they had camera. Yeah, but if they have video of her going into the store asking, oh, you mean from inside the store they had a video? That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let me read it. Connie, they supposedly have video of her going into the store asking if they had cameras prior to that day, saying someone broke into their car and asked if they had cameras. I'm telling you. Right, Christine. That's another thing. There should 100% be cameras inside the store if there's not cameras outside the store. So that would definitely be an interesting, and police have already done this stuff. They already know whether there was cameras or not. They've already pulled the footage. Like, I'm just waiting for them to arrest. And I'm wondering if they're not waiting for the arrest until they try to find a body, because we all know with true crime, having a body helps to get that conviction. So I'm wondering if maybe they're just waiting on that, because I feel like if she's not in that store on cameras, because almost every store has cameras so people can't steal. So if she's not in the store with the baby that day, that's a huge, huge guilty red flag there. Baby was gone way before going into the store. Yes. Also, people have alleged that the days leading up to this, that they were seen without the baby. So this was all staged, and she didn't have a baby then. Wow. Well, yeah, clearly they hurt the baby. Clearly, at least the husband / boyfriend, whatever he is, clearly he hurts children. That's just who he is. If he had that charge, and again, his charge was cruelty to children, but again, he took a plea deal. So I'm not sure what his first charge was, but that was the lesser charge that he agreed to plead to.
We need to search, and we need to find baby Emmanuel.
Yeah, Tina.
And as you saw there, the mystery of baby Emmanuel's disappearance, certainly the talk of the IE here. Now, I did try calling his parents using a phone number that they listed on the posters that are all over this area advertising that Emmanuel is missing. Those numbers, though, appear to be disconnected. For now, live in Yucaipa, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Well, Nick, I'm sure it's the talk, the thought of a baby being maybe kidnapped, terrifying for anybody in the community. I'm thinking of how emotional that mother was when she did talk to the media initially, crying, very distraught she seemed. And now to see the neighbors' response, the residents' response. What do you make of the response you're seeing from the public who probably doesn't know the family?
Yeah, there were lots of people. That particular woman who we spoke with does not know the family. She lives in nearby San Bernardino, was vacationing at Morongo. The casino is just a few miles away from the family's home. Lots of people driving by there, trying to see what's going on, even trying to take part in the search in any way that they can.
All right. Well, let's hope we get some more answers. Thank you so much.
Yucaipa, California, missing Emmanuel Haro.
Okay, so I want you guys to look at this. So this is the grandmother, which is the mother's mom. So maternal grandparent. This guy did a TikTok. He was looking for the kid. He was outside of the store where she allegedly, where this attack allegedly happened. This is 8:15. So this was 4 days ago. And the grandmother speaks out. Now, this is where I'm going to elaborate on the grandmother and the family.
His family is desperately searching for him.
I'm Mary Boyshausen. I'm the mother of Rebecca's mom. Jake is, Emmanuel is my grandson.
Yes, so somebody said that allegedly he had shaken a baby, like shaken baby syndrome. I'm wondering, Heather, is the baby Emmanuel? So Heather says the baby he abused was only 10 weeks old and had brain swelling and old wounds on ribs and everything. So Heather, considering he's still on probation, I'm gonna have to look into the timeline and the dates. I'm wondering if Emmanuel is the baby. And with the head swelling and everything, I'm wondering if that's the baby that he did this to. Does anybody know that, or has it been confirmed? Also, her baby hasn't been seen since August 3rd. Wow. I was wondering who was going to step forward and say, but outside of the family, because clearly this grandmother cannot be trusted. Let me say that again. This grandmother cannot be trusted. So I would love to hear from someone else outside of the family that saw the baby and when that was. Now, I see somebody said August 3rd. I'm wondering if anybody will come forward that has seen it, that has seen the baby since. Yeah, no tears. Oh, was it? I wonder. So the couple has a 2-year-old girl, and then they had Emmanuel, who was 7 months old. So they do have a 2-year-old little girl. My thing is, maybe it wasn't their child, because if he's on probation for child cruelty and he allegedly hurt a baby that was 10 weeks old to where their brain swelled and they had old wounds, meaning they had been abused, and they're only 10 weeks old, I would assume that is not their daughter, because why would they have the daughter back if it was, right? I just can't. I have no words. Emmanuel's 7 months old. Yes. He had another kid that happened to. It was with his ex-wife. Oh my goodness. Yes, Jill. And I'm not trying to be unkind or mean or anything like that, but I was looking for any articles to see if maybe the baby had some sort of medical issues or was like on medications or anything, because I only say that because being a caregiver is a hard job. And I was just wondering if he had, if he was medically advanced, you know what I mean? Medically, something going on medically. So I just wondered about that. What about that poor teen Giovanni, that case? I have seen little bits and pieces, but I haven't looked into that case enough to talk about it, but I'm definitely going to look into it more. If that is the case, he shouldn't have. So that's what I'm saying, Victoria. So now they're saying that the child that he is currently on probation for was another child of his that was with his ex-wife. So he's already done this to one of his other children. And to the point where you never know if the baby he hurt before had brain swelling and old wounds and was only 10 weeks old. Thank God that baby did not pass away. That's awful. Charges from 2023. Oh, wow. All right, let's see. You looked into that case? Yeah. I don't know his name, but I saw him several times today walking around trying to find information and dealing with cancer. Huh? That's wild. He should never even been able. Yeah. I don't understand. Let me see Jennifer's comment. I don't understand why a woman would want to be with a man that abused his child. I just don't get that. He said the other kid had a fever, so he was going to put the baby in the tub, but he allegedly said he dropped the baby in the tub and it had brain swelling and several old broken bones. Yeah, that's definitely not what happened. That is awful. Okay, so you guys are saying the baby wasn't 10 weeks old. It was 7 months old. Medically checked. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Hood Billy. That was one of my first thoughts, Hood Billy. Right, Lyric? Oh, that's awful. Okay, let's listen to the end of this, because this grandmother is so suspect. And the fact that the media are, they're doing their job, obviously. She's the grandmother. She's speaking out. But the fact that people are saying, like, oh, she says that she's adamant that her daughter is, she waited to have this baby and this and that, and nothing has happened. Those parents haven't done anything. And they're just, they're not doing anything for police because they're just overwhelmed, because the police wanted to give her daughter, which is the mother of the baby, a lie detector test, and she refused the lie detector test. Also, when the cops started pointing out her inconsistencies in her story of how things happened, that's when she lawyered up and said, I'm not speaking anymore. But from her family history, I can understand why she would lawyer up.
Oh boy,
the little boy
from Yucaipa.
From Yucaipa is my grandson. Please help us find him. If you have him, please return him. We don't want nothing. We will not do anything. We just leave the baby somewhere where we can find him, somewhere that is safe for him. Please I'm begging you to please just do the right thing for this baby. He's only a little baby. He doesn't know nothing, okay? He can't talk. He can't just say nothing, okay? So please just return the baby, please.
Emmanuel
Haro, yes.
7 months old,
7 months old,
about 20 pounds,
20 pounds, yes.
wearing a black Nike onesie.
Wednesday.
His mother?
She's not doing good, you know. She's heartbroken, you know.
She was injured.
Yes, she was injured. She was knocked out.
There's no video?
No video. Store doesn't have video.
Do we know exactly where it happened?
It's right here. The truck was parked here.
Here in this
Right here in this parking space. The truck was parked here. And she got out of the truck to change the baby. And when she got out, she was trying to get the diapers, the bag, you know, to change the baby because he had pooped before she went into the store. And she said that all of a sudden, you know, they just say, hola, and, you know, they hit her and knocked her out. And she said, all I saw was white. She says, when I came to, you know, she started running into the store and asked if anybody had seen the baby. And they said no, so she ran all around the store looking for the baby or for somebody, you know, and called 911. That's all I can tell you.
Do we know how long she was unconscious, or was she unconscious?
She was unconscious. No.
Is there any witnesses that we know of?
No witness, no.
Any leads at all? The police, any? Nothing.
They don't tell us nothing. That's the worst thing, you know, that they don't tell us nothing.
I'm so sorry for...
Keep your eyes open for this baby, please, please, just... No, we just lost a grandson. We just buried a grandson last Tuesday, but we can't go through this again. Please.
I also found it interesting. She said that she had just buried another grandson last week. So I'm interested. I was going to do a little looking and digging to see, because I wonder how, right, not even crying. I wonder how she lost a grandson the week prior. And I wonder if maybe, because I do feel like a lot of the times when a parent does this, I feel like a lot of the times it's because they are abusive and they get in a fit of rage and they go too far and something happens. So, I mean, I think that's most of the time. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's most of the time. They go too far, they beat them, and then they succumb to their injuries. But I'm wondering if maybe the dad or the dad of the baby or something, maybe they got an idea from, the funeral that they just had very shortly prior to that, where she lost, this grandmother lost another grandson. I'm not sure. Maybe he wasn't a child at all. Maybe he was already grown. I don't know. Right, Katie. I don't know. I just found that interesting when she said that. I was like, wait, what?
Just bring us the baby.
Right,
just
Nikki.
Tell us where he's at. Just leave him somewhere safe, please.
We're gonna do our best to help you.
Don't go through this again. Just like
God just bring this baby back.
All right, this is the public Facebook profile of Mary Bushausen.
This is crazy.
This is Emmanuel's grandmother. This is Rebecca's mother, because Rebecca used to be Rebecca Bushausen. And I'm looking down the profile here. She posted something July 27th.
Okay, so I just saw this. So maybe that's her grandson that she lost. So maybe he was grown, because it says, rest in peace, little brother. I hate what happened and I love you so much. This hurts. I'm wondering, I bet that was the grandson. Again, I'm going to go, because I saw this little clip and I wanted to add it. So I'm going to go look. So maybe that was the grandson she lost. But either way, it's just, there's a lot of strange stuff with this family, and you'll see. But this is the Facebook of the grandmother who was just on the news, or just on that guy's TikTok talking, and on the news.
On someone here, rest in peace. And then just 3 days ago, she made a post, but it looks like it's not available. And then 3 days ago, purchased some, post that she makes. But I don't see, she's out there. She was at the scene, but I don't see her making any posts on Facebook, and she actively uses it because she was just posting 3 days ago. I don't see her making any posts about the missing baby, Emmanuel. You would think that, the grandmother and family members of Emmanuel on the Harrow side and this side here of the family would at least make social media posts saying, hey, this child has been kidnapped. I mean, that's, she's making other posts. She obviously made other posts. This post here, as it's irrelevant here, but my point is, why make other posts and not post about the child on social media when social media can help find the child? This is where it gets really crazy, everyone.
Okay, so you're telling me that she is talking to the guy on TikTok. He does like local reports in that area. She talked to him. She was on the news, doing all these things. She said that they said they couldn't even go. The lawyer for the dad said that they couldn't even go look for the child because they took their vehicle and they did this and they did that. You know how many I would Uber if I had to, and tell the Uber I would go down and rent a friggin' U-Haul truck if I had to, and be out here like Chosen, skirt in the U-Haul if I had to. What do you mean? They took their vehicle and they took everywhere. I would go on a bicycle if I had to. What? What do you mean? They took their vehicle so they can't look for their child. I would steal a vehicle if I had to. If it came down to I had no other choice, my ass would steal a vehicle if it came down to my kid missing. Like, get out of here. Right, the baby would be plastered everywhere. And the fact that she has went to the news, on the news, she's went on this guy's TikTok. She's, holding up the signs and well, I would say crying on social media, but she's not even crying. She's like fake crying. And you can't even put a post on your Facebook. And it would be different if she didn't use the Facebook, right? But she's posting one of those games with your maiden name or whatever. Tanya, 1,000%. Tanya said, Connie, if your grandbaby, my G baby, was kidnapped, wouldn't you be hysterical? I would be hysterical, searching everywhere. Right. Hey, Heather. I would be walking, running. Exactly. But the fact that she posted some irrelevant little name game that people play on Facebook, but yet you're not. So you're playing games on your phone about maiden name and what it means and blah, blah, blah. What? I wouldn't even be able to. I wouldn't give a shit about that. I wouldn't even be able to think about that. And I sure the hell wouldn't post that over my grandson missing. That gave me huge red flags, because as a grandmother myself that uses social media, there is no way in hell that I would be posting some irrelevant game and not be posting my grandson that's missing. You're out there. I just don't get that. No one has tears. Exactly. But check this out. Mother of man convicted of gunning down girlfriend speaks out. Now, this is the mother to the baby that's missing. This is her brother. Okay. This is her brother. And of course, what does mom say? This is 2018. What did mom say? He's innocent. He's innocent. There's so much proof. He got convicted. And I believe he got sentenced to 50 years in prison. So it makes me think that the child's mother and the grandmother have already seen what her brother and her son, the mom's brother and this woman's son, has went through with the legal system. And I'm sure he was probably asked to do a lot of I feel like that's why she lawyered up, why she quit answering the questions, why she quit cooperating. Because most people, if they haven't went through the legal system, they feel like if I can just explain things, they'll see it my way and then I'll not be in trouble. The fact that she, as soon as they said anything about any inconsistency, she lawyered up, I feel like it's because she's went through the shit, because her brother was convicted of pew-pewing someone. But also, of course, he didn't just pew-pew and run and blah, blah, blah. No, he staged it. Let's listen to this.
This is an article from 2018. The mother of man convicted of gunning down girlfriend speaks out. James Bushausen, 35, the man you see on the left, he is the brother of Rebecca Harrell. He is the son of Mary, who we just listened to speak. This is crazy. Check this out. He was convicted of first-degree murder in the 2017 death of his girlfriend, Jaylynn Keith. Keith was found with a single gunshot wound to the center of her forehead in the bathtub of the Bellardo Road apartment the couple shared. Prosecutor says Bushausen shot her in the head and then staged the scene to look like a suicide. So let me read on here because the judge said some interesting things here. The judge said here, well, Mary goes on to say, Mary, the mother who you saw in the video we just shared, the one, out in front of the Big Five, she goes, I know my son is innocent and I will continue to fight for him, said Mary Bushausen, James's mother. There's new evidence. There's a lot of new evidence. She believes an in-depth look at Jaylynn's mental health was overlooked. Look, during court, the prosecutor asked the judge to review a Facebook post from Bushausen's brother, who has been allegedly harassing the victim's loved ones. Whoa! So the family, the Bushausen's families harassed the victim's loved ones. The judge says it's a felony and it doesn't do Mr. Bushausen, our defendant, any good. If this conduct continues, don't be surprised if you find yourself in handcuffs. Whoa! The judge said, I was going to stand up, but I didn't want to make skeptical. I'm not that kind of person, but they're pushing me to say something, and I will. I will address the court. Bushausen's brother said in response to the harassment allegations that were mentioned during court. According to Mary, the mother, the social media feud started with Keith's close friends, and who in return are claiming the harassment from Bushausen's brothers that continues in the courtroom. He did the hand signal, symbolizing a gun to his face, like pretty much blowing your head off. Kylie Hopkins said, a family friend of the Keiths. Whoa! Mary Bushausen remains determined to prove her son's innocence. We're going to fight to get him a new trial. We're going to appeal the conviction. We're not going to stop. Yo, so murder is in this family already. And the mother feels her son is innocent.
So, to me, the fact that the man got convicted and there was clearly proof of him doing it, and he tried to stage it, make it look like it was a, suicide. Let me tell you this. Women are vain. Most women do not, if they're going to unalive themselves, it is proven statistics that most women will take a route. Most women, let me put it this way. Most women do not pew themselves in the face. They just don't do that. Most women, when it comes, now some do. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but statistics will show that that is more likely for something that a man would do. Not only that, she was pew-pewed between her eyes, like in the forehead. Also, again, most women will either take medication or they usually will not do anything to their face. That's just, it's been proven. They say it's because women are vain. Whatever the case is, that's just statistics show that doesn't happen a lot. Plus, clearly, he staged it and they knew what was up. But to me, the fact that she's saying her son is completely innocent, she's going to get him a new trial. They don't know what they're talking about. She doesn't care what evidence they have. He didn't do this. So when I hear her come to the defense of her daughter, I think she has no credibility there, right? None whatsoever. And when she says she would absolutely never hurt her child, she's been wanting to have a son of her own, she's been all the things she says, no credibility there because she clearly thinks her son's innocent. And that's your kids, and I get it. You're going to fight for your kids. I get all that. But yeah, her credibility for me is nothing. Right, Misty. Right. Less painful. And yeah, they usually don't do anything with the face, So I just think there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out in this case. I do think I feel like none of us. I don't think there's any police officers in here, and if there is, you don't have to say you are. But we're not even police officers, and I feel like just watching the news coverage that I showed, the clips from the news coverage that I showed, I feel like it's glaring obvious who did this. In the news out here in Southern California, this was San Bernardino County, California. They said they found blood in the home when they did a search warrant. Oh, see, I haven't seen that. But oh yeah, I think this is going to definitely, so much is going to come out about this. And I'm just wondering, there was nobody in the parking lot that saw her. There was no cameras inside or outside the store. There was no one driving by with a dash cam. There was no one that witnessed this attack in broad daylight in the front of a department store. Like, there's just so much to this case where I'm going, what? How is that even possible? I just don't understand how that's at all. Inland Empire area of California. He's trying to sell his trailer for $45,000. I thought it was a misprint. The mom probably did want a son, but her baby wasn't what she expected. Yeah, it's definitely to be continued. Yes, this is a case I think we're going to definitely be following and being, it's a developing story. I'm just wondering, where is baby Emmanuel and what happened to him? Stephanie, they said the police took the car. So that's why the lawyer said, because the lawyer is for the dad, because, the lawyer, I don't think they're married. So the lawyer is representing the father only, which I also found that very interesting, which I'm assuming the reason is because he's already on probation. So he probably already had. Oh, yes, I knew. That's right, Kenyatta. Kenyatta said, I'm a retired police officer. So as a police officer, I feel like, even if we aren't police officers, and I feel like this case is like, which obviously you can't do tunnel vision. You have to look at all things as a police officer. But I just feel like there's just too much already that's adding up. And the fact that as soon as they call her out on some inconsistencies and she didn't, and I understand, like, they understand it's a traumatic time, right? And you could say, oh, I went to the store and then the post office. And in reality, you went to the post office, then the store. So stuff like that. Because you just went through a traumatic experience, allegedly went through a traumatic experience, whatever. So when the cops say, hey, you know what? You told us a story, but we found this out. If it was a true mistake, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It went like this. That's how I feel. If you had nothing to hide. But the fact that she won't take a lie detector test, and then as soon as they confront her, she says, lawyered up. The flyer for the missing kid is so impersonal. Yeah, I'm telling you that there is something missing. Looking at the other children, you can see that the baby needed special help. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And that's my first thought was, did the mother get overwhelmed because of the caregiving responsibility and do something to the child? And honestly, I don't even think that's the case. I feel like just watching the mother, I feel like maybe she's in a domestic violence situation, and maybe the dad did something and she's covering because maybe he takes care of her financially and she don't know what she's going to do without him. Like, there could be so many, there's always so many layers to these cases. But I'm just wondering, is she covering for him? Because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like her being the one who had to take sole responsibility and be the one that said she got attacked and she was by herself and all these things. And here he is on probation for child cruelty. And I just feel like it's going to be something along those lines. Like, he did something. Nick, I don't know. That is just what impression I got, but they have not said that. So I can't confirm. Yeah, May. So people were saying he shook the baby, but that's not true. So, not that we know of. So the baby, he did get, it happened in 2023. So Emmanuel is only 7 months old. The case that he's on probation for happened in 2023. So it couldn't have been Emmanuel. It is alleged that the child cruelty case is from a child he has with his ex-wife, a little girl. So it seems that the two kids that were in the home with this mother and father were not the only two children that he had. So, yeah, I think the dad lost his patience and beat her and hit the baby and ended up unaliving him. Tanya, I was also wondering that. I was wondering, did she get the black eye? Did he, beat her like, that night when everything happened? Did she maybe try to step in, or did something happen, or did him and her fight and then he was just being a dick and hit the baby too? Like, was he beating the whole family? I don't know. I'm very interested to find out what the cops have, because I feel like they have so much more than they're telling us. I think the father went overboard and she's covering that baby was, wait, what? Let me see this. I think the father went overboard and she's covering. That baby was something as they come. They would not have done it purposely when there's money to be made from him, in my opinion. I see what you're saying. So basically you're saying that they could make money off the baby. So why would they hurt him? Yeah, that's why I said I feel like a lot of the child unalivings are because parents are abusive and they just continue to abuse. And when the child is so small and they get all of these recurring injuries and they've got old injuries and, broken ribs healing and all, you can hit a child in the stomach and cause internal bleeding. There's just so many things. And when they're so little, their brains are so delicate. And that's what I think a lot of it tends to happen, is that they are just abusive and they just take it too far. And sadly, the child succumbs to injuries and they freak out and hide it. I don't think the baby was even with her in the car. Yeah, I think that this probably happened like a day or maybe a couple of days before the alleged attack that she described. But this case is, again, I didn't think we were going to get to the other video because there is so much to discuss in this case. And when mom called police, in the recording, she says an Asian guy took him. Then it turned it around and they said, Ola. Oh, okay. I did not hear. Let me see something. I did not hear the 911 call. Manual. Did they put it out? Let me see. Yeah, I don't see. I was looking to see if they had put out the 911 call, but I don't see it. Is that just what they reported? Oh, hold on. It looks like this is from 2 hours ago. Let's. Ooh, it says that it says that the investigation has turned to the parents. Shout out to Slick P. Look at Fox. New 11 LA. A lot of info came out today. Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I was looking at Fox. That's where I got a lot of the clips came from Fox 11. But look at this.
To give 2 million people all around the world.
Okay, hold on. You may be right about. I just was told that it was 2023, so you may be right about that. Maybe he was sentenced in 2023. We saw the court docs. It was in the video. They showed the court docs when the lawyer was talking about it. Let me see here if there's any more updates. Which we knew that they had took their car from the lawyer, so. I'm not sure, because they said today that they just found out today that was breaking today, because that was only from 2 hours ago. But I'm wondering why they're saying that's a new update about the car. Let me see something. I was trying to see if oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Look at this. This video says, home search reveals that mom had black eye before. It says Updates. Investigators search home footage. Proves mom had black eye before kidnapping. Oh, shit. This is when they were searching the home, I guess. I know. Who does this, right? Yeah, cadaver dogs. Right, Jill. I wouldn't care. Accuse me all you want, but let's find a baby together. Let's figure this out. That's the investigators at the house. That's crazy that they figured that out. I knew that black eye was not new. There's no way. Right, no surprise there, right? What did they say it? No, he just talks about it.
And I already know the ending. It was a beautiful thing to see because these stories, they make you lose hope in humanity. How could a... But if the info that he's about to share, he reveals some other information. And if this info is true, I haven't seen evidence of it yet, but if the info that he's about to share is true, man, it's definitely a game changer, and it really makes me...
Ahmed Belloso from Cabazon, California. You can see investigators are now leaving the chat here at the residence for Emmanuel Aro, who was reported missing on the 14th of August. New developments, and I have video footage. Rebecca, in fact, had that black guy on the 3rd. That black guy that she said she got hit.
Wow.
We have video footage from August 3rd when it was brand new, homie, because she had an appointment at a local establishment in San Bernardino, and we will disclose that information further. We are now here at the property where we
heard that, Marisol.
Emmanuel
we were talking about that, Marisol.
And you can see here that we are gonna get as close as we can here. Such a sad situation where you can see the sheriff's department investigators are now here on the property. They have now begun to look for remains of Emmanuel Aro here in Cabazon, California. And you can see there the property in the back. How you doing? And so now investigators seem to be leaving the property here. Ahmed Belloso, the voice of the barrio, the only real homie on the news homes, new developments.
Out in the parking lot, and I don't think that either. I don't think the black eye came from that at all. But the black eye is not a non-factor in this case. I told you in my first video about this story that black eye ties into this story. Myself that something most likely happened to Emmanuel pretty close to around the
That's awful. I never knew that. I only thought they had drug dogs. Oh yeah, cadaver dogs for sure. They can smell cadavers. So yeah, they can even like if somebody is buried, they can even smell it through the soil. It's wild. Yeah, bomb dogs. Dogs can, there's a lot. Like dogs can do, they can literally like sense seizures. Dogs are amazing. I know, Karma. So it looks like I didn't see where he showed the footage, but I'll look for it for sure. I will probably be doing an update on this case maybe Thursday, because I'm sure by Thursday, there'll probably be even more information on this. Thank you guys so much. Let's see how many we got. There's 306 of you guys in here, 235 likes. Make sure you hit that like button. I will see you guys soon for some malarkey. Thank you guys for a great episode of True Crime Tuesday with me, your host, Feminine and Fierce. I appreciate you guys. I know this is definitely hard, some hard content sometimes to go through, but these cases, I think, are, for me, although they are very tragic, are interesting on so many levels. Victoria, I'm actually going to end it now because we have been on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. So I usually only do an hour 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we're a little bit over our hour, but that's okay. I knew this case, like I said in the beginning, I didn't figure we would get into the second one. So that's okay. We'll get into it Thursday if the update isn't too much. So, but I love you guys so much. Thank you again for tuning in, for us discussing this case, and prayers for baby Emmanuel. And I hope that they are able to find him and at least give him a great, funeral and whatever the case. I mean, of course, I hope that he is still alive, but I don't think that's the case. And it seems that the police do not either. Yeah, Teresa, it was a little. Teresa must be behind on the video. Can we deep dive? Ooh, Summer Wells. There's so much on Summer Wells' case. But yeah, I'll think about that. This makes me huge. This makes me hug my kids. Yes. I didn't cover Lacey Peterson. I did not. Channel 60 Hood News Live, Karma. Huh? All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you in about 30 minutes or so. I'll put up a warning so you know I'm coming back, but I'll see you guys soon. Right, Karma? I love it. But they say that nobody watches me unless it's about Maybay, but I digress. But I love you guys, and I will see you soon for some malarkey. Thanks again for tuning in for this episode of True Crime, and I will see you Thursday. Bye. Love you, Karma. Love y'all.